Hey Brazil, this is Courtney Barnett and you are listening to 89 FM.
Fala galera, beleza? Eu sou o Wendell Correia e hoje eu vou conversar com a australiana Courtney Barnett, que vai lançar o novo álbum chamado Things Take Time, em novembro, tudo isso com exclusividade para 89 Rádio Rock, para ela falar desse novo disco, falar um pouco das suas experiências com a guitarra, Brasil. Ela não tá com a câmera ligada porque tava com um problema ali no Wi-Fi dela, então tá só o áudio, mas mesmo assim a conversa ficou muito legal com a Courtney Barnett, exclusivo para a Rádio Rock. So, how are you, Courtney?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine too, thank you. And how has been these crazy years for you?
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. It's been pretty quiet for me personally, I guess. I was in Melbourne and we were in lockdown for a long time, so I just kind of was at home. So yeah, very quiet year.
And I've just heard a new album. It's amazing. Congratulations for that.
Thank you so much.
And how was the process of writing and recording this new album?
Yeah, it was a really fun process. I wrote a lot of it just on acoustic guitar and drum machine at home, and then the process of recording it was kind of small. Like we were only just allowed back inside studios. And I made the album with Stella Mosgower. We co-produced it, and we both played all the instruments. And yeah, it was just a really inspiring process.
I've met Stella when she came with Warp in Brazil. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's an incredible musician, incredible drummer.
And she also played the drum as well on the new album.
Yeah, we both played all the instruments. So she did all the drums and the drum machines and a lot of the synths and keyboards, and bass. We both played bass on different songs.
And do you always write first on acoustic guitar than the songs?
A lot of the time, yeah. I mean, sometimes electric guitar or sometimes piano, but in my flat that I was living in, I only really had my acoustic guitar. That was kind of the best. And I'd sit in my window and just watch people out the window and write songs, and yeah.
That's what inspired you to write Ray Street.
Yeah, correct.
And how was watching what's going on the street?
It was just, like nothing incredibly exciting ever happened. It was just people going about their days, but that's life a lot of the time, I guess. Like I think a lot of the album, or just a lot of my songwriting in general, is like finding those small moments that are like beautiful or special or strange, and just really, really focusing on them, and yeah.
There's a great verse on this song that time is money, money is no man's friend. Do you remember what you were thinking when you write this verse?
Yeah, I just remember that was a thing that my dad used to say when we were kids. Yeah, like when we were going somewhere, like if he was in a hurry and we were being slow, he'd say time is money, money's no man's friend. And it always stuck with me. I thought it was so funny as a kid, and then now growing up, it's just, I don't know, it was interesting.
And the intro, the drums on the first seconds of the song reminds me In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. Is that an influence or just something on my mind?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, no, I mean, maybe Stella did all the percussion and the drums, but we kept a lot of drum machines on the album because I wrote with them. So we Stella reprogrammed some drums, and so the very intro is, I think, is a drum machine.
And it's amazing video. Do you have fun shooting videos?
Yeah, the video making process is fun. It's always like, it can be a bit stressful and all that stuff, but yeah, it's fun to see what directors how they bring a song to life, and like the visual side of a song. I'm always so impressed. Like those people who make films are just so talented.
Yeah, and got a lot of patience.
Yeah, totally.
And talking about the whole album, the lyrics talks about breaking up and in what I noticed. And I don't know if you agree with me, and have a health exception about it, and recovering and moving on. It's breaking up and moving on. Is that right?
Kind of. I mean, I think that people, like, I want people to interpret it in their own way. And I don't want to tell people what this album is about and what it's not about. Yeah, I guess it deals with like friendships and relationships and, life and death and time passing, changes. Like, it's a lot of stuff that I guess is pretty universal.
And that's amazing. On the first track, Ray Street, you sing, I'm just waiting for the day to become night. And on the last track, oh, the night goes so slowly.
Yes.
Do you prefer the night?
I think I've become a morning person. The night, I get tired early now and I go to bed, but I love getting up early and drinking coffee and watching the sunrise and just going throughout the day, doing fun things.
Really early, do you wake up?
Yeah.
And who painted the album covers? Was that you?
Yeah, I painted the album cover.
And why the different kinds of blue?
I was just doing a lot of painting in the last year. More than usual, more than just drawing. And yeah, I think a friend bought me a set of watercolors and I just found it really peaceful to paint and to draw. And the blue, I found the blue to be a really kind of calming color.
So it's a great color. I enjoy blue as well. And do you have a favorite track on this album?
Oh, it's kind of hard. I mean, I definitely love Before You Gotta Go, but I think one of my favorite tracks is called Turning Green, which isn't out yet, but it's, yeah, I think it was one of my favorite songs to record and to see the whole process of the evolution of it.
Turning Green is my favorite one as well.
Nice.
That's nice.
Great choice.
And Before You Gotta Go was also an amazing video. You're recording sounds on nature. Is that something you do?
Yeah, I actually I started to do that a bit more at the start of this year. I was spending a bit more time in nature, in the desert, and then just up in the kind of countryside. And yeah, I've kind of done it here and there over the years, but a lot more around the time I was making this album.
And the other song that has a video, write a list of things to look forward to. And the video was inspired by the lyrics. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of the video, I guess. Well, the video was a bit more inspired by just the last year or so of my life, and friends kind of sending gifts and, thoughtful notes and just like getting in touch with friends. And yeah.
And when you are writing new songs, what do you write first, melody or lyrics?
A bit of both. It always changes. Yeah, there's no kind of one way that I normally write songs. It always seems to be different. I just kind of trust my instinct and see what happens.
And you are left-handed. Was it hard to you learn how to play instruments as left-handed?
Kind of. Yeah, like there were most people I used to borrow, guitars off people before I got my own one, and they were always right-handed. So I kind of learned how to play upside down, and then I got given a guitar which my friend restrung for me, so it was left-handed. And I mean, it's a little bit of a hurdle, but not much. Yeah.
How many instruments do you play? Guitar, piano?
Yeah, I mean, guitar's definitely my strongest instrument, but I can play a little bit on piano, bass, drums, averagely.
And you also don't use picks to play the guitar. That's something that I always admire you and Mark Knopfler, how these people are not using picks. Any particular reason for that?
Nah, I just never really, I never started. I didn't like them, I think. And you always lose them and, it's too hard.
Was that a lot of blood on the guitar when you were learning how to play?
Yeah, I mean, there has been over the years, yeah, on tours and when I kind of rip my hands apart a bit.
Yeah, I know how it is. And do you have a favorite guitar? Is your a Jaguar?
Yeah, I love the Jaguar. I've been using that for a while now, and yeah, it can just do everything that I want it to do.
And who is your guitar hero, the one that inspires you to play the guitar?
Probably Jimi Hendrix when I was a kid. Yeah.
Another left hand, and I know you're a big fan of Kurt Cobain as well, right?
Yeah, true. They were probably the two first, like my two guitar heroes.
So you have to play as left-handed.
Exactly, yeah.
And talking about Brazil, you've been here. What do you remember about our country?
I just remember how fun the shows were, and how lovely the people were, and just, yeah, such a joy to play there, and I'm really excited to come back.
I remember the first time I've heard your songs, I believe it was 2014. And while I was talking with someone on the radio station, and we reminds us a lot of the Seattle bands from the early 90s that people call as grunge. And what is they your main influence?
Not really. I mean, definitely an influence, but yeah, I think so much different music influences me. So many different songwriters and different styles, and I think it all kind of blends together, and it's always kind of constantly changing and evolving, and yeah.
And talking about future, you are releasing the new album, and then you are going to tour.
Yeah, I start tour in America in a couple of weeks, and then probably just be going for the next year or two. So yeah, I'm hoping to come to Brazil.
Yeah, that's what we hope. Next year we're having shows again.
Yeah.
And all the songs you've written for this new album made it to the album, or is there anyone left?
There were some songs that didn't make it. I mean, well, they weren't completely finished as well. So there's some songs still kicking around, which will probably come back somewhere.
Do you used to write a lot? New songs?
Yeah. I think I'm kind of always working on something.
Thank you so much. A pleasure talking with you.
Thank you. Lovely to talk to you.
Looking forward to see you in Brazil again.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
89, a Rádio